Bro, pass it. Bro, can you? What the f are you doing? Anime? Forgot what I was about to say. Blue Lock Season 2 is definitely a rare case, not really, of a very popular show being mismanaged. People have been making fun of Season 2 a lot, and the reputation hasn't been good. Certain Animator has publicly addressed the state of Season 2's production of Blue Lock. I think you all have seen what it is. Since this is a popular show, no one is really knowledgeable enough of what the Animator was saying. They just go, oh, fan animation is better, when it's literally explained by Martin Kings why they don't have movement. Also, I'll probably talk about the U20 trailer and other stuff on my next Blue Lock video. I mean, there's literally nothing to talk about the trailer. Season 2 looks... yeah. I don't want to beat a dead horse. Well, I am, but I'm not gonna deep throat my mic complaining while my brain is sitting on my bed. Again, I am a manga reader and I'm still enjoying Season 2. It is still very disappointing animation wise. I do think the direction is still good. It creates the hype that it needs to for some scenes, even with no movement. The music placements is good. You can see the overall vision and concepts if it had more time, while still sometimes following it through, but it is still a bit bad most of the time. At least it's not an Uzumaki or Tower of God Season 2 where every aspect just falters. I don't know about Tower of God. Everything was just uninteresting unlike Season 1 story and characters. Boarding wise, I can't really say anything much in the matches since shit doesn't move. You can have good action boards, but if it's not animated, there's no point. Although there was some nice stuff like the Isagi's Awakening, cool transitions and others, when it's dialogue stuff, they still make it interesting even with a lot of constraints, with neat perspectives, using some warped, almost fisheye perspective, more noticeably in episode 1 and 5, using different style to explain stuff, and stinky. I did mention in my previous video that the compositing in Season 2 looks better, although now since I've watched more than the trailer, it doesn't. Of course, I'm more talking about the second half of Season 1. I did go back and forth a bit on Season 1 and 2 to see what makes Season 1, the second half, more appealing. The design does look a bit different. The more kind of notable one is the color tone for the skin, more so the face. I don't know how to explain it. It feels less process in Season 2, while Season 1 looked like it had more touch-ups, maybe some soft brushes or gradients added to it. I don't know. The thing that's the most standout is the darkened tone, I guess, in this season. Season 2 looked darker, the background, grass, while in Season 1 it's very bright almost. I know it's a different place to the other selections, but sometimes it doesn't look that appealing or mix well with the characters on the field. In Season 1, even when they use a lot of Kagenashi, meaning shadowless, it still looks good. That probably just because Season 1's director is a more cohesive director than this season. Not trying to downplay Yuji Haibara as a director, but it shows that Watanabe was a more competent director. Also, when I search up Yuji Haibara's name on Twitter, why the fuck did I saw Gojo and Itadori having Season 1 aside, Season 2 has been trash, to say it bluntly. I sang all my praises, which was not much, but now we have to get down on some gangster shit. While the direction can be commendable in some stuff, but another important aspect for a sports anime is movement. My expectation for this season was that it was gonna look like the first half of Season 1, maybe a bit worse, and this is worse than even the second half of Season 1, which is crazy to say. Everything is just still frames, badly composited effects, and just bad. Even when there isn't any movement, the VFX are just too much. They're just spamming the effects to compensate the lack of movement. Not just that, the effects or post-processing is just not good. Effects feel like it's just slapped in without any effort to mix it in with the characters. These particles and visual effects that distort the image, like when you look at on top of the fire, kind of distort your vision, is bad. The latter of Season 1 had these effects, but they don't spam it. While Season 2 used this more blackish background a lot, Season 1 used this white background. Both of them can look better, definitely, although Season 1 fits it more. I'm not saying every VFX or coloring concepts looks bad. No, there's a lot of examples it can look good, but spamming it is too much. And using speedlines, you can just leave some scenes alone without added effects. Yes, sometimes you need to make the illusion that stuff is moving using VFX or warping the background, but too much, man. I can imagine the iconic walk-in on the U20 match. Crowd noises, speedlines. Whoa, yeah! And also doesn't help that the design is line heavy and detailed. The animators has a harder job to do because the producer demands that the design is accurate to the manga. Like, if the design is simpler, it would have been easier. Take a sport anime by 8-bit, Hoshiai no Sora. Although that show is focused more on the abusive parenting aspect. Besides that, the design is simple, so it's more freer to do more dynamic shots with the matches. I mean, just take a look at some of these tennis matches. It's quite ambitious. Even with the horrible time constraints, the team is still trying their best to do whatever they can. But who is at fault here? The topic that's flying around on Twitter is pretty all over the place. People fault the studio, committee, and even animators. Stupid ass. And there's a lot of fangirls on Twitter like, oh my god, Rin and Isagi look like they just touch each other. I mean, what? It can be both sides, studio and committee. Talking about the higher ups in the studio. Before that, let's talk about Martin King's TikTok that he did, which again, people read it without any knowledge about animation. Some looked at this sentence and went, oh my god, he animated 5 episodes alone? Which is, I don't know. Yes, some episodes can have one animator, like a solo key animator, where one person solo animates a whole episode. Even OPs or EDs, like Norimitsu Suzuki and Rima Ibata, they direct, storyboard, and animate it solo, not like compositing and other stuff, just animated. Hiroyuki Takashima solo animated Mushoku Tensei episode 5. Same goes for Takashi Kojima for episode 5 of Your Lie in April. And much more. Anime is also not a one-man's job. There's a lot of factors that goes in just one cut of animation. Martin is only a layout artist for Blue Lock Season 2. I mean, if he had more time, he probably would have done the Ginga too. The process usually goes storyboards, layout, key animation, then correction for the animation director or episode director, and if the chief animation director wants to do corrections, that's another factor, then in-betweenings. That also doesn't factor in coloring, compositing, and sound design. It is very trash that some of the animators' work just got scrapped and not used in the final product, but the director knows that he had to do that to meet the deadlines. Of course, the directors are not pleased by doing that. Layout butchering is pretty common, even for good-looking shows, like Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1 or Oshinoko Season 2 with Kohei Ebata's cut, where Mel spin his sword in the LO, but it's just removed for the final product. If you don't change those cuts to still frames, it will look like this rail running scene. The Dogaman is nowhere to be seen, or you just have a cut that probably gets cut short with still frames. The question, where did the budget go, is weird because this season probably cost more than the good looking episodes back in season 1. Comparison. Blue Lock Season 2 Episode 5 credits, then Blue Box Episode 5. You have to pay more artists and even other outsourcing studios to do animation directing. Time and talent is important, but Blue Lock lack both of them. Martin King said in an interview, speculate that this season probably only had 8 months to cook. I would guess around that ballpark too. Again, Martin is only a layout artist for Blue Lock, so don't take it as facts yet. This dysfunctional credits can be a snowball effect, not just for the animators. The director has to do more work to correct stuff. Same goes for the animation directors. The production assistants have to juggle and keep tabs with a lot more people. Sometimes can also lead to miscommunications where there's too much at hand. You get the idea. It's also worse that some animators is just across the fucking world, so it's a bit more complicated. Animation producers and production assistants are in charge of contacting more talent. Also, other staff can, like some animators that got invited in season 2 was by the episode director Hiroshi Kimura, if I'm correct. Talent 2, Blue Lock Season 1 was rough even early on, but you still had animators to do standout cuts like Iko Gesso or Hajime Nihira. Season 2 had animators, although their cuts just got deleted into existence. Same goes for Season 1's director, Tetsuaki Watanabe, left. Assistant director for Season 1 and the director for the Nagi movie, Shunsuke Ishikawa, also left. Both of these people are freelancers, so they can just leave when their projects is done. Watanabe is busy gushing over Hololive music videos on Twitter. Respect. And Ishikawa is still promoting the Nagi movie with the Blu-ray version that came out a bit ago. The blame should be on the committee, mostly, to give this short of a time for an anime that's this complex to adapt, since every episode mostly needs movement. I understand from a business standpoint that even 2 years is not that good of a way to get profits for the committee, I guess, but the fact that this season only had 7 to 8 months is crazy. Still speculation. You know that this IP will make a lot of profits. There's legit no risk to give the staff more time because you already saw the success of season 1 and even the cash grabbing movie did. Even worse, the demand from the producers making the design way more complex makes the project a bit harder to animate. Not saying if the design were simpler it would have just fixed everything. No. The blame also should kind of be to the higher-ups in the studio, picking this project knowing that they don't have access to a lot of talent in the industry, and one of Bandai producers' decision to make a movie was stupid. By the way, if you don't know, 8-Bit is now a subsidiary studio of Bandai Namco Filmworks, or Sunrise. That's why they are in the committee. I'm hoping that a delay will come, but now that the U20 match airs next week with the trailer, it's GG. I'm gonna talk more about the U20 match and other subjects on the next video, so I can reach 8 minutes on the Blue Lock video. And booba. I'm still enjoying season 2, even with a lot of the problems. We'll see what happens in the U20 match. Please keep your hopes all the way down in the well. If you guys like this video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a like. Comment down below what are your thoughts on Blue Lock season 2. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.